Welcome, welcome back, folks. So, today we're going to talk about the two trades I took this week. On Tuesday, I passed the Skilled Funded Trader Phase 2. On Wednesday, I passed the 50K Combine on Topstep. And I shared all of this with you guys on Instagram. So, if you're not following me, you might not be sure about what I'm talking about. But if you are following me on Instagram, then you know what I'm talking about, right? So basically on Tuesday, I took two trades. One was on Skilled Funded Trader and the other one was on Topstep. And then on Topstep on Tuesday, I only made about 50% of the target because Topstep doesn't allow you to close the day on 100% target with one trading day. You need to respect the consistency rule and make at least 50% or less on the day. In any case, let's get started, right? So on Tuesday, as you guys can see, let me clean out my chart over here, get into details properly. I'll just skip to here. So Tuesday, I was bullish on the day. If you guys look at the daily chart, we have this previous all-time high, right? So this is the high of July 2023. This was the highest Nasdaq had been. I think, I'm not sure, but I think it is because on the future it has like this little messed up price action, so you can't really see much from here. But I don't really look at the CFD because sometimes the CFDs it's like just showing some weird nonsense. Honestly, that's why I'm always gonna be like trading based off of the futures charts. Anyway, as you guys heard, this is the daily chart. I am looking for bullish price action, and the reason for that is broken down right here. Number one, we have let me remove this, right? So number one, we have this fair value gap over here. It's been rejected on Friday, the 5th of January 2024. We rejected this fair value gap, and whenever I do my weekly analysis or look for my following or the following week's bias, I don't really call it a weekly bias. It's more of just the next day and then the next day and then the next day. Why is because sometimes in a move like this, you can have this big fair value gap, right? And then there's also one just above it right here. So where price might actually respect them, right? We could move from here into here and then go all the way down, right? So that's why I'm saying I never anticipate the week's closing. I just work on a daily basis, like okay, tomorrow or on Monday or Tuesday, this is where I'm going. So, and the reasons for my bullish bias is actually number one, this fair value gap, right? It's in a discount right here below the 50% of this fib. So it's in a discount. It's a safe place to buy. That's just how I understand premium and discount. And then we are also retesting this all-time high that was broken recently. As you can see, the 19th of July 2023, and then price broke it, came back, and I guess you can say it is to an extent support and resistance because on the 29th of November it did act as resistance again and then finally price broke it. But I am not here to tell you to trade support and resistance or that I use support and resistance. I don't. For me, my own bias and the reason for this was based on the fact that the daily chart was on this fair value gap right here, right? It was rejecting it, and the rejection alone is enough for me to say, okay, this is some point of interest that I might look for a reason to either long or short. Now, the other main reason I went long is because Friday failed to close below Thursday's low. If you look at the bearish days, right, whenever we had a bearish days, we always closed below the previous day's low. The closure below the previous day's low is a signal that we might head lower on the following day. As you guys can see, this is Thursday, Friday, and then Monday was a holiday, so it starts Tuesday. Tuesday closes lower. Wednesday closes lower. Thursday closes lower. So you would anticipate Friday to close lower. It didn't. It did wick lower. It did go for about 120 points, but it did not close below this Thursday's low. So this for me is a reversal pattern. This is signaling a bullish candle on the following trading day. That trading day being Monday. Now, of course, I didn't get an entry on Monday, and I will show you the price action on the lower time frame. You guys remember, if you have been here with me since the beginning, you know that I trade after 9:30, right? Even if I'm trading the 2022 model, I like to get in after 9:30, right? So at 9:30, price just kept shooting up, and that was pretty much right. But I didn't get in on the trade. I didn't trade on Monday. I was just watching price action and waiting for the close. And eventually, Monday closed bullish. Now, what did I just say? If price is breaking and closing below the lows of the previous day, it's continuing bearish. But if it closes above the previous day's high, it's bullish, right? So because this rejection of the fair value gap as well as the retest of this high, put that together with the fact that we just closed above Friday's high, and look at this strong candle. This is the displacement candle, right? So this move on its own is saying, hey, we are bullish on Tuesday, and I was expecting bullish price action. Now, of course, this is how I trade daily buyers. I don't know if it's incorrect or correct, but it works for me, and most of the time I do get winning trades and I am profitable to an extent with them. Of course, I have some issues. I'm still a beginner that I have to deal with, but most of them are psychological as opposed to technical, right? Now, on Tuesday, I was anticipating buys, as I just said. So let me just fast forward price and mark out. Oops. Okay, that was a close one. Okay, so I'm gonna mark out 9:30 because, like I said, you guys remember from the Quit Your Job in 90 Day series, I start at 9:30. Now, of course, I watch the chart from 8 o'clock, right? I watch the chart from 8 o'clock and I do my little analysis and I look at what's happening, because sometimes there is a news event at 8:30, and during those days I will trade before 9:30 because sometimes the news can manipulate price and give you a very nice entry that you can hold throughout the day in the right direction or in the direction of daily buyers, right? But anyway, I will I will just get back to this video, which is the 9:30. It's basically the 2022 model, but I'm just taking my trades after 9:30 because the opportunity for me presented itself at that time, right? I'm trading the futures, the equities, and obviously it's probably better that I'm entering after 9:30 as opposed to before, because sometimes there's going to be manipulation that's going to have to hunt the lows or highs that were made at 8:30. That's why I enter after 9:30. And also, you guys know that I love scalping 9:30 opening. You've seen me do that in my previous videos. That's how I passed my first topstep combine ever. That was last year, the November was the first time I actually got funded with topstep, and this is now the second time I'm getting funded with topstep. However, this trade is the one that passed my skilled funded trader evaluation phase two evaluation. Yeah, I think that's what they're called. But anyway, as you guys can see here at 8:30, we did move lower. I'm taking sell side over here. So as far as the 2022 model works, this is the 2022 model playing out, right? But I wasn't trading this 8:30 open. I was looking at the 9:30. Now, you guys remember from the Quit Your Job in 90 Day series where I would mark the highs and the lows on the 5 minute chart, and then I wait for manipulation of either one of them, and then I just scalp the move in the opposite direction. On ES, I would normally take 5 to 10 handles, and on Nasdaq, I will take 20 to 30 handles. Now, of course, this is now something that you guys don't. I've never talked about it in many cases, or rather, in my previous videos, I didn't talk about what I do in situations like this. I only trade the 9:30 opening when two things happen. Number one, when we get a manipulation, right? So, for instance, if price comes up, manipulates those highs, displaces, and goes down. Number two is when price opens and it goes lower, manipulates the lows, shifts, and moves up. Right now, I'm bullish on the day. I am targeting the previous day's high. Now, this is something that I've always been doing when I'm trading the 2022 model. Remember what I just said on the daily chart. On the daily chart, if we are bullish, price will close above previous day's high. So if I'm getting an entry at the lows, remember the power of three, right? So we open, low, high, close. So if I'm getting an entry at the lows and I'm targeting the previous day's high, that's a pretty sweet move. If you ask me, I think anybody would be satisfied with that kind of move. And this kind of how ICT taught it on his mentorship. You can just check it out on his channel. It's always better to get it from the horse's mouth than somebody else anyway. And yeah, so for me at 9:30, I didn't enter into any position here because if you see, we have this shift or this move to the downside, right? And then we have this fair value gap that's being respected here. Now, if you look at the 5 minute, excuse me, on the 5 minute, we actually don't take any structure to the upside. So this doesn't count as manipulation. However, for me, this is now beginning the manipulation. And although there's a fair value gap here, because I didn't have FOMO. Sometimes I do, I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I'm still a beginner, I'm still trying to figure this thing out just as much as any of you guys. Um this fair value gap here, some people would enter on it because of the break of structure, and they would be thinking, oh no, we'll miss the move otherwise. And this is the problem with FOMO. Excuse me, guys. I keep yawning because I'm recording this video literally at like 1:30 in the morning. Normally during the day it's so busy around here, and I live near a main road, so it's loud, and I don't really have like an office to record in. But hopefully in the near future I'll have a better place to record, and I will record videos during the day and do live streams and whatnot. But anyway, there's a reason why I have this over here, right? Patience, discipline, reward. This is so important for me. I don't know what's important for you. I'm not saying do this or follow that. This is not one of those videos where I say, hey guys, you want to pass your trading evaluation or challenge in one day or in one trade, do this. This is not going to probably work if you buy a challenge today and take an entry that I took a similar one. It might not work, it might work. I don't know, right? You never really know what the outcome of these things are. The best that you can hope for is to see your edge play out, but like the best that you can actually hope for is just making sure that you're risking responsibly. You are risking money you are willing to lose. You are risking something that's not gonna put you in a very, very bad mood after that trading session, right? I've been a victim of those, so I know what I'm talking about. So, patience, discipline, reward. Reward only comes when you practice patience and discipline. What do I mean by this? If I had FOMO into this trade and I entered here, I would have only felt good for what, 2 minutes, because the next the next few minutes, look at what happens. And immediately, when price makes this fair value gap to become an inversion by disrespecting it. And what I mean by that is this candlestick, this bearish candlestick, broke and closed below a bullish fair value gap. So this becomes an inversion fair value gap. All right, let me put it there in the center so you can see it properly. If you look over here, we have this inversion fair value gap because it got disrespected. And normally, when you see this happening and you have a trade running, you're about to get clapped, right? Sometimes I would literally exit my trade immediately when I see this. I just cut the trade, especially in a situation like this. If I FOMO into a trade and this happens, I cut the trade. And this saves your account from big drawdown. Like, look at that. That's a 6.5 point move. Whereas if you just, well, this is not where you would have put, you would have put your stop loss here, right? Because this is way too far. Like a 24 point stop loss on Nasdaq, you're just asking to blow an account. Anyway, if you let me just go back here again just to talk about this a little bit further. If you see this move happening and your stop loss is here below these lows, you're gonna get hit, and you see that's what happened. So these lows for me was a point of interest. They were relative equal lows. This low, this low, this low, and this low. This low is the 930 opening low. It's also an important part of trading 930, right? Sometimes the manipulation doesn't happen immediately. It takes time for price to start manipulating in the opposite direction. And that's when I know, okay, I can start looking for trade. Now, I was looking for this sell side to be taken. However, when this sell side got taken, and price moved back into this range so quickly, look at how quick, in 1 minute, it went all the way down and then back up, right? That's a 15-point move right there, from here to here and back. So price went 15 points down, 15 points back up in 1 minute. So this was enough for me to say, okay, yeah, we are rejecting these lows. We are not taking this one. Are we gonna take it or not? This is what helped me to identify whether I should have waited for price to take it, or I should be looking to enter as soon as I get a displacement. If you look over here, oh, this is the Dow Jones. If we go back to the ES, I like to scout out these little uh, Thursday and Wednesday. I like to scout out these little SMT diversions, and like you guys can see over here, it's already been marked out. So it's not something that I'm lying about, right? This is SMT. Nasdaq is making higher highs and higher lows. SMT. This is SMT divergence, right? Nasdaq is making higher highs and higher lows, and ES is making lower highs and lower lows. Look at this, lower lows, and then ES broke structure here, right? So when ES broke this structure and it's heading higher, and firstly, just by coming down here was enough for me to say, okay, we have SMT divergence, which is number one. We are bullish on the daily chart. Number two, we are rejecting liquid after taking liquidity. We just took this liquidity and rejected it on Nasdaq. So that's literally three confluences coming together, right? Now, I do not enter on this candle, right? You know, I like to wait for the fair value gap, just as ICT teaches in the 2022 model or the 2022 mentorship. This bearish fair value gap, it means something, right? Like I just said over here with this one, if you have entered on this bullish move. When this candlestick disrespects this and makes it an inverse, you get out because guess what? It's gonna go lower. So what is this? This is a bearish fair value gap now. If this is a bearish fair value gap, wouldn't it be better to wait for this bearish fair value gap to get disrespected and become an inversion? That's exactly what I waited for, right? I don't fall more into trades anymore. And look at the fact that price is respecting it, right? Price keeps respecting this fair value gap. So no matter what you do, you either have to sit through drawdown or risk a potential loss because price could easily manipulate further down by using this fair value gap and then doing something like this, right? And if you entered anywhere here, you'd get clipped and then the price runs. And sometimes FOMOing into a trade is really terrible because you could end up losing the amount of money that you were willing to risk. And when the winning trade comes along, you don't have the guts to press the button anymore, right? This has happened to me so many times. And this is what made me fail a lot of evaluations as well as lose a lot of accounts. I may be right on that higher time frame analysis, but because I wasn't patient enough to wait for the lower time frame to align with the higher time frame, and I'm taking trades like this and getting chopped, by the time the trade comes up, I'm out of funds. I can't put up a trade anymore because I've lost half my risk for the day, and it messes with me psychologically or mentally, and then I end up chickening out of the trade. I don't even enter the trade and it goes in my favor and I beat myself up over it. So now I feel even more or even worse than I did before. And that kind of like creates that cycle where new traders keep failing because they keep doing this. You're chasing the trade. Like for instance, you are bullish on the day, you're waiting for New York, and yet you are here trying to buy the London session, right? This happens to me sometimes. I'm here trying to buy the London session because I'm bullish on the day and I know that I trade the New York session, but hey, London is showing bulls. I'm getting in and I'm getting clapped and getting clapped and getting clapped. By the time I'm in New York, I only have about $200 to risk on the trade. Nasdaq doesn't give me $200 of risk. I stay out of the trade. It goes in my favor. I beat myself up. This is the kind of thing that happens, and you will only notice these types of things when you journal, when you keep a record of what did you do today, how did it feel, why did you do what you did, what did you do at this time when the market was doing this, what were you doing, what did you feel like when it was doing that, all of this stuff, right? But anyway, let's get back to the video, right? So we are waiting for this fair value gap to become inverse, right? So I'm waiting, and eventually we get this push up, still doesn't break it. I don't care that this candle is big, an engulfing candle. I don't care, right? You can have a giant candle and price will still take that low. Like, this, oh no, you have an engulfing, so you can buy. It's still to the low of the engulfing, so it doesn't matter. Engulfing or not, you can still get clapped because you're not following what smart money is actually doing. And look at that, price comes back. So alone, this candlestick, I guess it was okay. I didn't want to enter now. We have this tiny little fair value gap over here, but we are still respecting the bearish fair value gap. So I'm not entering. So price respects this fair value gap in a way and it moves away from it. Immediately when I get this break over here, that's when I say, oh, nice. We have a shift in market structure. And guys, sometimes you're not gonna get this. This was an easy trade. I'm not gonna lie. This was an easy trade. Sometimes, obviously, it was only easy because I have the experience to identify when and when not to enter into the market, right? What I mean by that is many trades or many moons ago, when I was still struggling with the ICT concepts or struggling with the technicals of my trading, I would have entered so many trades in this move and gotten hit so many times, right? But because I'm waiting patiently for the right move, patiently just waiting for the right move. Remember, my bias is bullish. So when we get this displacement that is bullish, I know I'm bullish. I'm waiting for the fair value gap as as the rules require it. There's my fair value gap. So I put my limit order, my stop loss just below this low. If my stop loss is below 20 points on Nasdaq, I'm happy. All right. I am happy if my stop loss is below 20 points. Notice that when ES is moving higher, Nasdaq is also moving higher. However, the lows, this low is lower than this low, or rather, it's lower than this low, whereas this low is higher than these lows. So already you're seeing the divergence, right? This is SMT. So let me put it back in full screen so you can see it. And with that being said, I had my limit order set, and remember where I said my target was. My target was up here, so it was about a 128. There it is. Now, of course, I don't normally risk 1%, right? And you guys know for the skill challenge, I think the target is like 6%. So, like I said, it's not easy to pass your funded challenge in one trade. I've tried it. I have Instagram, so you guys know what happens on Instagram. You see somebody in a Lamborghini with an iPhone 15 Transformer, Megatron, whatever. He's rich, he's got money stacks next to him in his car, he's got a woman, and everything's looking nice. He got a yacht. He's telling you, I just passed my funded challenge in one trade. I opened 1,000 lot trade and made 1 million in one trade. And you love that. You love the lifestyle. You love the idea of having money. You love all of that. And it's bullshit, right? Most of the time, I am telling you right now, it's absolute bullshit, because I have talked to some of these guys and I have asked them questions just to trick them, and they fall for the dumbest shit, man. So I kind of learned on my own that you're not gonna pass your funded challenge in one trade. You can, don't get me wrong, you can pass it, but you're not gonna do it, especially when you are 2 years in, 3 years in. I've been trading for 3 years. I'm going for my fourth year in the next, like, in 2 months time I'll be trading for four. I would have been trading for 4 years, and this is the first time I passed a challenge in one trade. Now, did I buy the evaluation, pass it immediately with this trade? No, I didn't. This evaluation I got in December. You guys remember I posted phase one. When I passed phase one in December, a day later I got phase two, and I traded it from December until now, and only now am I passing it with one trade. What I mean is, in December up until this point, I was in drawdown. I entered over and over again, well, obviously following my rules, and I was in drawdown, making profit, drawdown, profit, drawdown, profit, and then I went back to break even last week. And then after making break even on previous week, this is now the trade that I took that made me that 6% profit target and passing the evaluation. Now, let me just play the video because I don't want this to be too long. We still have to cover Wednesday's trade. So anyway, this was my entry. We got in, price moved. And again, if you're following me on Instagram, you saw that I scaled in here because one one contract wasn't enough to pass the challenge on skilled funded trader, but I scaled in here. I perimetered. I went in with zero point 0.5, right, 0.5, and I had a stop loss below the 50% of this, right, this candle right here. So my stop loss was here. It was a bit big, but I was comfortable with it because initially the trade that I caught here, I had already moved my stops to break even. So if price had come here and hit it would have hit both my stop losses, and then I would have only lost this trade, right? So I got in here again. It's a scaling, a pyramid. I got in with a half. I have my risk, and I got in with like half of what I would have put down here. Remember, down here, I entered with my maximum risk that I take per trade. What that means is if I went in with one contract here, I'm going to go in with half a contract here because, again, you saw this was a 25-point stop loss. If price had gone all the way down and hit my stop loss, one contract, 25 points is more than what I'm willing to risk. But half a contract, 25 points, it's within range of one contract and 20 points, right? I hope you understand. But again, if you don't understand, go into ICT's videos, go into his YouTube channel. You will find where he breaks this down and like talks about risk management and whatnot. And I did take advantage of that kind of like videos. As much as we like to see technicals and we like to see price go our way and watch traders win, some of the most important videos are actually the risk management videos, the psychology videos, because I mean, how many times are we going to keep learning technicals, right? At the end of the day, technicals are only a small part of trading, right? You need psychology, you need risk management to be able to trade. So in any case, you guys see that I got my first entry here, my second entry here, both trades closed up here, and I passed the challenge. Now on this, on top step, this trade gave me a little bit more than I wanted, right? You guys know the consistency rule. I closed the year at more than $1,500, and then I took a few trades just to trim, just to take some losses back to $1,500. I think I closed about 1,480 something. That was fine for me. It was enough. And I went on to the next day. I am bullish on the next day. And let's just get to Wednesday and then I will show you. I don't want to make this video long. It's already long, but I hope that you guys actually get some form of value out of it. I know that I rambled on a little bit, but if you've made it this far into the video, please like and subscribe if you have not subscribed yet, and comment down below what your goals for 2024 is, because for me, my goal for 2024 is to stay funded. That is my goal. Stay funded. I've already gotten funded on two um I've already gotten funded on two platforms, Topstep and Skilled Funded Trader, and I'm going for my, well, actually three, because I got funded on 22nd of November, and then now, yeah, so I'm funded on three accounts. So basically, I'm done. I'm not gonna do any more evaluations unless I lose one of the accounts. Hopefully, I don't. But as I said, the goal is to stay funded. So I just want you guys to comment down below the video what your goal for 2024 is, and I will obviously check it out and respond if I have to. But again, I wanna grow as a trader. I want to become more consistent. I want to become more humble. I want to become more successful in this business, and I hope the same for you guys. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you've been with me this long already, I know that you enjoy this kind of content. Hit that like button so that I can keep posting more, and so that I can, just overall get the benefits of, being on YouTube and whatnot. You guys know that we out here to try to make some money, so we're gonna do we're gonna do what we must, right? But I'm gonna try to share as much helpful content as I can. I'm not gonna lie to you or deceive you in any way. Eventually, I'm gonna start trading live. I just need a better setup to start trading live. Now, let's get into Wednesday's trade. I rambled on a little bit, my apologies, but Wednesday's trade, similar to yesterday or Tuesday, right? It's similar. We had opening price push higher, manipulate over these buy side liquidity. It was relative equal highs. And you guys, if you've seen my Quit Your Job in 90-day series, you know that when I'm scalping this model, this is what I'm normally looking for, right? So I would normally look for this kind of manipulation and then wait for a shift in market structure, which is presented right here, a fair value gap, and then I would enter short trades targeting the next strong liquidity or 20, 30 handles or 5 to 10 handles on S&P 500. Now, since I'm bullish, right? Remember on Tuesday I passed phase 2 of Scale Funded Trader. Now on Wednesday I wanted to pass my topstep combine. Now on Monday price closed above Friday's high, so bullish on Tuesday, and Tuesday price closed above Monday's high. So therefore Wednesday was going to be bullish. That is how I do my daily bias. And well, not only that, actually, the fact that we still had this fair value gap up here, this was like drawing price. It's my magnet, right? Let's see if I can find a magnet. I know there's a magnet icon here. I'm just gonna use this one. That's a magnet, right? Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. That's a magnet, and this is what's drawing price. So I know price has to reach this. This is one fair value gap. This is the other, right? This one is the furthest one. So this one is the one in premium. This is where you wanna get sellers, or you're gonna get sellers up here, right? Not here. This one is in the middle, and price, although we have this situation where price wicks the consequent encroachment and respects it, price still closed above Monday's high. If price had respected this consequent encroachment and closed below Monday's high, I would have been looking for sells, because now I have two reasons why price would sell. In this case, I would just have one, and that's frankly not enough, to be honest. So anyway, on Wednesday I was still bullish, and the other thing that was helping me stay bullish on Wednesday was because Thursday is CPI, and there's no way we were going to reverse the day before CPI. If there's going to be a reversal, it's gonna be on CPI, right? So anyway, let's get back to the breakdown. We get our quit your job in 90-day move. I didn't take it. I didn't want to take it because originally the idea was for me to trade the daily bias, and the daily bias was telling me, hey, we are heading higher. So I wanted to take the buy trades. Now we have liquidity over here. I'm marking out these because I took profit around this area, not up here, around this area. The reason was I didn't want to hold the trade for more than what I needed. I just wanted to get my combine targets met and then be done with it, right? So unfortunately, as much as I like to trade divergence, there was no divergence on Wednesday. So, but there was a unicorn model, and what a unicorn model is when we have a breaker block. As you guys can see, price is peaking above it. This becomes a breaker block, and this is the ICT breaker, or rather the unicorn setup. And the unicorn setup is basically when we have a breaker block that has a fair value gap. So something like this kind of setup is a what do you call it again? A unicorn. Again, my stop loss was below 20 handles, and I was more than happy with that, right? So obviously this is the obvious strong liquidity. This was the obvious strong liquidity, but I have targeted this one. Now you can argue and say, why didn't I wait for this to get taken out before trading? I decided I'm gonna get in because we have the what do you call it, the unicorn right here. The fact that price hadn't broken this fair value gap and disrespected it to make it an inverse, it wasn't going to stop me because we had this unicorn. So it was a bit risky. I understood the risk. I was comfortable with taking a loss here because I was deep in profits, and I also had a free reset. So I was like, whatever the fuck is going to happen, it can happen. I'm just going to enter this trade because it's aligning with my daily bias, and it's a freaking unicorn model. Right? So a unicorn is like one of the best entries that I have seen. I always watch like ICT's trades whenever he enters trades and stuff, and other profitable ICT traders that have been trading for longer than me, for like 5, 10 years. And this kind of setup works so well that I myself chase it. Whenever I see it, I know, okay, this is it. This is the model that where I'm gonna have a high probability of winning the trade, right? It's a reversal pattern though, not a continuation pattern. But anyway, I got in here, I had my buy limit set, and then look at that. Price literally just wicked into it and then rejected it. And when this happened, when price closed up here, I was like, we done. We are gone. We're not coming back down here. And sure enough, we didn't. We didn't come back there. We went all the way to take profit. Anyway, so this is how I passed my combine on Wednesday, and then this trade is how I passed my phase two of skilled funded trader on Tuesday. Both of these trades are based on the ICT 2022 model, and I did enter the trades after 9:30, but that's just how I prefer to trade it. Sometimes, yes, you will get a trade at 8:30, but it's not always gonna be like that. Most of the time it's gonna come after 9:30, just from experience. Obviously, I may be proven wrong. I don't mind being proven wrong. I don't, like I said before, I don't want to put anything up on YouTube that's gonna entice anybody into anything and then end up hurting you, right? Anything that I'm saying here is not trading advice, it is not financial advice. This is mainly for entertainment purposes only, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. And whatever your goal is for 2024, my friend, I hope you are able to reach it. Again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and comment down below what your 2024 goals are. I have a top step reset, so if any of you guys want a top step uh, account reset, you can just comment down below. I don't know if it will work, if it works like that, but they gave away a free reset. I think like 2 days ago or something, on the 10th. Yeah, on the 10th of January. So I still have about until the 17th to use the reset, but I don't have any accounts that I can reset. So I can give it to somebody. If it can work, I would like to just give it away to anybody who needs it. But anyway, comment down below if you do need it, and then I will give you the reset. Um, Obviously, I will just choose randomly. I don't have to know you personally. I'll just choose randomly and just give you. But you have to be subscribed. You have to be subscribed. Like the video, then comment down below that you need the reset for your top step combine. If you are in one, if you don't have one, it's cool. Otherwise, I will catch you guys on the next video, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Peace.